What's up, guys? Rath here for the DFS Minute tonight, Monday, May 18th, 2015. Short slate tonight. It's around 6:30. And I'm mostly going to stick with value plays because that's really what we're looking at tonight is paying up on pitching, going with the value plays. There's three guys I think you can look at, but two I'm locked in on because of some late information that we got with the Indians lineup. So let's start off with pitchers, okay? Talked about Harvey, Sale, Kluber, and probably Lackey is kind of like that four-pack that I like tonight. But with Carlos Santana not being in the Indians lineup, you definitely got to like Chris Sale. So I'm going Harvey, Sale, paying up on pitching tonight, and I'm going to find value with the bats. On a short slate, my advice, in my opinion, is that you pay up on pitching. Don't get crazy. And I'm not worried about if everyone is on these guys. Lock in these points. Let's bank them. And then let's nail the hitting tonight. The other guy that I am on a little bit is Ruby De La Rosa. He is good against right-handers, and he's in a good pitching environment in Miami. So Ruby would be a guy that I would like in tournaments, and I would advise you that you only really play tournaments tonight because there's going to be so much overlap potentially on those 50-50s and heads-up. So, go light tonight. Don't go crazy. You want a little bit of action on the games, that's fine. You want a little juice. That's fine, but let's not go crazy. Let's load up tomorrow. Let's load up on Wednesday because we got some stuff coming for sure that you're going to want to save your bankroll for that we definitely want to get into. And that is you see my hat, you see my shirt, okay? News just came out, and I talked about this, I think, on one of the first DFS minutes. I was like, DraftKings needs to do a live event at Fenway in Boston in their backyard, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They just dropped it tonight, I believe. I just saw it on the homepage, and I dug in there, got all the information, and I'm pumped. As much as I don't like chasing qualifiers, I'm going to chase this one because this is sweet, and it's a $150,000 prize pool. They're only going to be running qualifiers for the next 2 weeks, and they're running one per day is what it looks like. It looks like it's going to run one per day. It said $27. Now, of course, they can always change that, but it looks like it's going to be a $27 qualifier. Hopefully, they're going to run a bunch of satellites to get in. It's all expenses paid trip, 3-day event at Fenway, at Jerry Remy's sports bar up in Boston. And, man, I got goosebumps. I'm actually going to be up there for July 4th weekend, but I'll go twice. I don't care. It's where I grew up. It's where I'm from. And, man, I'm juiced up for this one. So 12 seats, Saturday, June 6th is the event. $50,000 first prize, $150K prize pool, Boston live event, DraftKings, qualifiers over the next 2 weeks. And this is how you do it. Run a short qualifying period. Make it attainable for everybody. Let's not only go to the pros, let's make it for all players, which is really, really cool. So I'm pumped about this one, and I'm definitely going to be pimping this one out on a daily basis. Let's get into tonight at catcher. I'm liking Willen Rosario. Don't really like going against aces, but look, Rosario's splits at home against lefties are absolutely insane. Actually, one of the top split differentials in all of baseball over the last 3 years. He's 3.3 on DraftKings. He's hitting fifth in the lineup. So, hey, you got to roll with him. There's not a lot of catchers tonight. The other guy that's an option is probably Stephen Vogt, but you got to pay up a little bit more to get him. I'm not a huge fan of taking bats against pitchers that nobody's ever seen before, and that's what we get in Houston with Lance McCullers. So I kind of, it just seems like every time I take hitters against these rookie pitchers, it never seems to work out. So I'm going to probably look to fade some of these Oakland bats tonight, and I'm really not going to be on them. I'm going to be on probably the other side. First base, going value. It's not something, we're kind of breaking some of the rules here. But, again, with the short slate, beggars can't be choosers. Justin Bour is a guy hitting cleanup tonight. He's 2.6 on DraftKings, 3.2 on aces. He is pretty much a must-play for me tonight, unless you're going to go Miggy or Goldschmidt and then look to get value elsewhere. But I tried finding value elsewhere, and it's just not out there. So you got to roll with Bour tonight against Ruby De La Rosa. De La Rosa does struggle against left-handers, so left-handed bats, so that is something we have in our favor. We do have Bour in a really nice spot. Let's hopefully Bour see some fastballs from Ruby. The one thing about Ruby, I will say, he can dial it up to 98 to 100 miles an hour, but it doesn't have any movement. So if somebody gets a hold of one, it's going out. So hopefully we get that with Bour. Just talked about Vogt. On DraftKings, you can play Vogt at catcher or first. So if you don't want to go with Bour and you do want to get Vogt in your lineup, you can definitely go with him. Or you can throw Rosario in at first base and then look to find value at catcher, but I don't think there's a whole lot there tonight. So that's kind of why I'm locked in on Rosario, going to roll the dice. Second base, I do think you have some options. Cheap options would be Chris Owings hitting 7th. I don't like the lineup spot, but he is swinging a hot stick. So, and the price is 3.7 on DraftKings. The other guy I'd look at is Jose Altuve. I'm definitely locked in on him tonight, hitting first against the lefty Pomeranz. Altuve, lefty, lock. That's pretty much what you need to know, especially if it's not an ace. So that's really, what I'm looking at with him. 4.8 on DraftKings. Third base, I think you do have some options here, especially on DraftKings or Fantasy Aces, where you can plug in the first corner infield. You got 2 corner infield spots, and you have a utility spot. So I think these guys are in play. Tomas is in play for me on Aces at 3.6, hitting cleanup against Herron. So Tomas hitting cleanup, big power bat against Dan Herron. Do like Herron at home most of the time, but look, we gotta find value somewhere, and finding value with power is really something that you always look for. So the other 2 guys I like are on the Phillies. The third base eligible Freddie Galvis hitting 2nd. He's been hot against Jordan Lyles. He is 3.8 on Aces and 4.1 on DraftKings. So I would go with him, or you can go with Michael Franco, who's got pop and hitting a little bit further down in the lineup at 5th. I think he's also in play. Now you can play Galvis at short, and then you can slide Franco in at third base if you want to do that. That's an option that you can do on Kings. Shortstop, just talked about Galvis. The other guy I think is out there is sneaky. I'm not sure if anyone else is on him, but Ilian Herrera is a guy. Now, he's not very good, but he's actually had a little bit of pop this year, and he gets Lobstein, who got roughed up pretty bad last time. And the guy's actually hitting 6th in the order. He's 2.6 on DraftKings. So for me, he's a must-play on DraftKings. He's extremely cheap over there. So for me, I need to find salary relief somewhere. I'm actually going to play him in the outfield spot because I like Galvis so much. I want to throw him at shortstop. Going to throw Herrera in the outfield because I needed salary relief. I didn't like loading up on Houston. I don't mind having a couple of Houston bats in my lineup tonight, but I didn't want to go with 3 because the way that they are, it's all or none. So that's something that's, even though I'm mostly playing tournaments tonight, I don't like taking 3 Astros. It's just something that scares me. These guys can go out there and whiff all of them. So Anthony Ghost, I really like him at hitting leadoff at 3.5 on AC, actually on DraftKings against Fires. So he's been pretty good. I love guys hitting leadoff that are cheap, so you can always take advantage of that. And he's lefty, hitting against a righty, so you got to like that. And he's speed, which plays well on DraftKings. So singles and speed on DraftKings are guys that you absolutely want to get. So if a guy's hitting leadoff, he's hitting first, he's going to get a good matchup, hit 3.5K. Ghost is almost a lock for me on DraftKings with that format. 2 other guys, I was looking at Gaddis and Carter. I did get off of them, but there's limited options tonight. So, if you need some bats, you do get the splits edge. Houston Astro right-handed bats at home going against Drew Pomeranz, who's really starting to struggle this year. Started off pretty good, but he's really starting to regress. So definitely somebody that I think you can pick on tonight. And then also take a look on DraftKings. All you new guys are low stakes grinders. They're running a ton of 25-cent satellites for the Swing for the Fences contest. Now, look, it's only a $3 ticket tomorrow, so it's not breaking the bank. But still, load up, play a bunch of 25-cent satellites. They got a ton of them in the lobby. And if you happen to win a handful of them, then you can fire some multiple entry in tomorrow because that's probably going to have some overlay tomorrow, I would imagine. $300,000 GPP, $3 entry. Got to imagine it's going to be some overlay. So I think win some satellite tickets tonight, get in cheap, get some overlay tomorrow, and have fun with that contest tomorrow night. But again, the DraftKings starting tomorrow night, live final, Fenway Park. I believe it's called King of Boston, something along that line. But really pumped about that. And so we're definitely going to be pumping that every day. So, all right, guys, this is Rath. I'm signing off for tonight. Wish everybody the best of luck tonight in their contest. We're going to hit you back here tomorrow with the DFS Minute. Definitely check us out in the forums and the chat room tonight as we talk about the games. And then we'll have the Curve Show coming up tomorrow from 12 noon to 1 p.m. Eastern with Josh and Benny. We're going to see you back tomorrow. And as we always say here at Roto Curve, stay classy, DFS.